Okay, folks, this is a quick update because I haven't had time to prep the episode because never rains but it pours, as they say. I have to thank three of you out there, two folks named Mark, Kristen. They've gotten enough money to me as soon as it cycles through the bowels of the payment systems we have. They've gotten me enough money for me to get the motor. I still don't have enough to deal with that plumbing issue. And I don't remember if I mentioned it last night. But here is the thing that I now have to be concerned about when dealing with the plumbing. Because what's happened is where the water lines for the kitchen sink and the dishwasher go into the trailer, that's where they've sprung their leak. Because, oh, come on, Fuzznuts. Because of the shitty polybutylene plumbing that they built this thing with, that's where it's gone wrong. Now, the thing that I have to worry about, once I get that shit taken care of, that's currently leaking, is I have... And let me explain. This is the second time that shit has sprung a leak. And the water line that goes to the refrigerator is different entirely. But you may have remembered a couple of years ago my shower sprung a leak, and that's what happened. Where the polybutylene plumbing went into the trailer, it sprung a leak. So it's only a matter of time before the rest of this shit springs a leak. And that's going, of course, it'll always happen when I can least afford to deal with it. So, or it's the middle of the goddamn winter and it's too fucking cold. But I've got, here's what I'm going to have to replace in the future. All right? At some point, when, I don't know. I've got the line to the toilet, the water lines to the shower, and the line to the sink in the guest bathroom. I've got the water lines to the sinks and the toilet in my bathroom, and then the water lines to the washer and dryer. Well, to the washer, obviously. A dryer doesn't have that. Have a water line. So, let's see here. 2 for the sink, 2 for the shower, that's 4. 1 for the toilet, that's 5. I'm not sure how the sinks in my bathroom are plumbed, so it could be 2 lines or it could be 4 lines. And then there's the toilet. So, we're looking there at 3 to 5, and then there's the lines for the washer. That's 2. So we're looking like 12 lines are going to have to be replaced on top of the 3 I got to deal with now at some point in the future, and I don't know when they'll go bad. Ideally, it would be nice to be able to fix them before they go bad. And when, it's halfway decent weather outside. But, it is what it is. And I'm, I've got the parts to deal with part of the kitchen sink and the dishwasher leaking. But I don't have all of them, and I don't have the insulation. That's at least another $100 for those. Part of it's, fucking everything's expensive anymore. And that's that. Now, as for the bike motor, I have no idea when it will arrive, because it's got to come from China. It is because if I order it from the bike manufacturer, which is what I'm going to do, because while lots of bikes use that same motor, there's some variations between them, and I don't know how to identify exactly what the differences between those motors are. There's not enough information on the web regarding these things. You would think that there would be huge detailed lists of information because people are so anal about all this shit. But they're not listing the specifics that I need. So that's a bit of a problem. I can't, Amazon sells motors, but I can't tell if it's one that'll actually work because I have to have one that fits inside the same housing. Because if I switch housings, then it's a nightmare of work trying to do it. And if I just buy a new rear wheel with a new motor in it, that's more expensive. Not a lot more, but it's, they're like $400, which, okay, it's $100 more than what, just getting the motor would cost. But still, I got to watch every penny. And I'm having, and here's where it comes, never rains but it pours part. I'm having issues with this PC. Again, not to mention somebody who has to walk all over me. Come on, buddy. I know. Let's get you down, okay? Can you get down? Please get down. Oh. But anyways, there's that. If I had time, if I had money, there were things I could do just with the bike to get it up and running, but I don't. And finding an Uber to get to and from work is really hard at the times I have to be at work. That's not sweetheart, buddy. Please stop this. I just put you down for a reason. There you go. So it's not something I can rely on. And I'm going to have to get up early in the morning to go to work. And because this is the thing that I've learned in researching stuff about the bike. The problem isn't exactly what I thought it was. I mean, here's what happened. I was up late last night. I was hungry. The only place open was Waffle House. I went to Waffle House, and on the way home, the electric motor basically, just started making this horrible grinding noise and effectively quit working. I mean, all I got was this grinding sound, and it's like, and I'm having to pedal. I get a little bit of assist from the motor, but not a lot. So, I get home, I post my, my message because it's a fucking emergency, and 2-3 weeks to order the part. And my assumption was that there was a clutch inside that hub, and the problem was that there was something wrong with the hub. And I thought, well, when I got up today, I started crawling all over YouTube looking for videos about that bike, because it's like, okay, if there is a clutch in there and there's some way I can force that clutch to remain fully engaged all the time, then it's fine, because I don't ride the bike without using the electric motor most of the time. I'll help it up the hills because it just doesn't have enough oomph. So I start going through the videos. Turns out the bike does not have a clutch. And it turns out there was something that I should have done that I didn't know I should have done with the bike and is not in the manual that comes with the bike. The motor sits in the hub by the what cyclists call the cassette. It's that cone of gears on the back wheel of a bicycle. That's what the cassette is. And there behind it, between all the spokes, is a hub for the bike, or for the motor. And that's what makes it turn. Well, there's not a flywheel, or not a clutch inside there. There are, it's got a planetary gear system. And so, and I'm watching one of the instructional videos where the guy's showing how to take the bike apart so you can put it in a new hub. And he's doing this because he had some problems with his motor. Well, it turns out that about every 1,000 miles you have to pull that hub out and put white lithium grease in there on those planetary gears, which are plastic. In theory. I don't know, because I haven't pulled that thing apart. I'm not tearing that bike apart until I get the replacement motor, since it's done differently than what I expected. And if I fuck it up, I don't have anything other than my scooter to get me around, and that's an hour and a half trip. So, basically. So anyways, the guy pulls motor out of the hub, and he's showing you all the stuff, and he's explaining how to do it and put it back in. And he even explains how you can put a bigger motor in there, but he doesn't give me the details I need to know if I can get the right one, because he doesn't there's a feature about the motor that you need to know to be able to know if you can put a bigger one in there. But the planetary gears are plastic, unless the maintenance guy I got the bike off of had upgraded the gears, because I looked on eBay and they sell the gears and that are plastic, and then they sell metal versions of them. Those are coming from China, so they take as long as the motor, and I don't know the number of teeth that are on the gears in the bike, which you need to know so you can order the right set of planetary gears, because they have various numbers of teeth on them, and so you can't put one with the wrong amount of teeth on there, because the gears won't mesh. But when I get the replacement motor, I can pull it apart, which I have to anyways. I will, in the description box for this episode, I'll drop a link to one of the videos I watched so you can see for yourself. It shows the same bike and everything. So you can see for yourself, okay, this is what he's going to have to do. But you pull out the, but I can pull that hub out, put the new one in, and then I can order parts, assuming, of course, it is plastic gears. If it's not the plastic gears, if it has metal gears in there, then I may be really fucked, because I'll have to just fucking dismantle that wheel. I don't know. Again, there's a short video which explains part of this. I'll drop it in there. It's not the most detailed one, but it's good enough, and it's less than 10 minutes, so you'll be able to, if you want to know what I'm going to be dealing with, you'll have an idea. But assuming there's plastic gears in there, and assuming that the metal gears inside, the part inside the gear inside the hub isn't fucked up, then I can put in the new hub. I can take the plastic gears off the old hub, order replacement ones from, Amazon or eBay. Well, it looks like it'll be eBay, because Amazon just does not have that wide variety. I mean, it might end up being Amazon. It depends on how many teeth that thing's got and what kind of gears are in it already. You can buy, like I said, you can buy metal gears instead of the plastic ones, but I don't know what it has. I mean, if it's got plastic gears in it, then that's actually kind of better, because that means it's less likely that there's damage to the gear inside the hub. Because replacing the hub is going to be a bitch, whereas replacing the motor and the gears isn't so bad. But anyways, what you're supposed to do every 1,000 miles, and nobody told me this, like I said, it's not in the manual, you're supposed to re-grease the gears. But in theory, I get the new motor and I pull it apart and everything. One of the things that I can do is I can add a Zerk fitting to the hub. Those of you who've worked on, old cars know what a Zerk fitting is, because that's where you grease things. I can add one of those so I don't have to pull the whole thing apart to grease the gears after every 1,000 miles, because that's what you're supposed to do. At least according to one of the videos I watched. Again, not mentioned in any of the manuals for the bike. And I looked on Amazon because that's simply a place I know I can get stuff from and won't get ripped off, and I know before I place the order, in theory, exactly how long it'll take the parts, something to get to me. Every e-bike out there that's under $1,000 uses the same, in theory, the same motor and everything that this one has. Some of them are even the same frame, just sold by a different company with a different paint job on it. So it's not like, oh well, just I get because the bike comes from the manufacturer for about $700, and then all the additions that were added to mine kicked it up to $1,000 when the guy I bought it off of ordered it, but and I didn't pay $1,000 for it. Thankfully, I only paid I paid $200-300 for it. So basically for the hub motor. But anyways, I can fix I figure out what the gears are and get replacements. So if this happens again before I have a car, then I've got I've got the motor that I can just plunk right in there, and I don't have to worry about this shit and having to pedal. But anyways, thanks to both Marks and Kirsten, in a few days I'll be able to get the order in for the motor, and then who knows how long it'll take to get here. 15 to 35 days is what they're saying. When I ordered the replacement battery from them, it took 2-3 weeks, I don't remember. But who knows, with China locking down and unlocking with COVID, who knows how long it'll take it to get here. But at least going forward, everything works out, I'll have I'll have a spare motor I can plunk in, and I can make modifications to the case so that I don't have to worry about issues happening so frequently. I mean, every day I go to work, I put at least 8 miles on that bike. And that is, let's just do some quick math here. 8 times 5, that's 40 miles a week. Times 4.5, that's 180 miles a month. So in a little more than 10 months, it's to the part, well, actually a little less than 10 months, it's to the point where I have to worry about re-greasing the gears. And, that's... if I add that Zerk fit, if I can add a Zerk fitting, then I don't have to tear the thing apart to add more grease to it. We'll see how it goes. Because unfortunately, none of the videos have really good... they're fine at showing you how to do things, but they don't have really good shots of things that I would need to figure out if I can add a Zerk fitting to it. And still have it be accessible. So, that's where I am. Now, since I'm not sure what kind of assist I'm going to get from the motor and how long it'll last, I'm going to have to change my route to work, to and from work, because it takes because the shortest route has a lot of hills, and they're so steep that if I don't have that motor helping me, I have to walk the bike up the hill. The other way I can go is a little longer, but it doesn't have quite so many hills. I'm sure I'll have to walk up some of them, but not necessarily all of them. Like I said, it's flatter most of the way, so I won't have to get off and walk the bike as much as I would if I went the other way, or the way that I normally go. The problem is, of course, it's going to take me a little longer to get to and from work, and there's kind of a dangerous intersection that I'm going to have to traverse that way, simply because of it's not an issue when because what'll happen is when I get off of work, I'll instead of turning left or right like I always do, I'll have to turn left, and that can be kind of dicey. I have to do that sometimes because that's the only way I can get to the closer the other store that's close to where I live that sells cat food, if Dollar General doesn't have it, without having to go farther, past my home. If I go my regular route, on the way home I can stop off at Dollar General, grab the cat food that I need without deviating from my course, because it's a block away from the trailer park, and then I can head up to the trailer park. Whereas if I go the other way, then if I don't go the other way, then I have to drive a couple of miles past the house to get to places that sell cat food. So that's where I am. All right, I'm gonna have to end this here because I have got to get up in the morning at 4:30 so that I have ample time to get ready and be at work by 7 o'clock. But I thank everybody for listening, and I thank those of you who have contributed, or those of you who are going to contribute. I will try to get a real episode out this week. It all depends. Like I said, PC's acting up. So I'm going to have to deal with that, but I think I've got the worst of the problems sorted out, but I won't know for certain for some time. But if I can, have like a relaxing day tomorrow, and I'm not too worn out from the riding the bike, I'll definitely get you something this week. If I am exhausted, then it'll be Saturday. And I need, last but not least, I know I've mentioned Patsy is having some health issues. It's not terribly serious. It's going to, and I hope she won't get mad at me for saying this. It is going to involve some minor surgery. But I've known lots of people who've had that surgery, and it's been like 3 days and they were fine. It was like they never had to go through surgery. So hopefully she has a similar experience, and I will keep everybody posted on that. All right, take care. Thanks again, and as soon as I can get a real episode out, I will.